So take us through that mind space of yours. I want to understand that mind space to get out of a comfort zone. And I'm not going to shy away from saying this also. So don't hold me otherwise, because this podcast is a very candid podcast, right? We are the whole objective of this to have a very transparent conversation. Add on to that the gender card. Add on to the fact that comfort zone as a gender, with the construct of maybe motherhood being in the future, with the construct of maybe various other things coming into play. How and what was the mind space to say that I'll still go across and taste the blood of entrepreneurship, take that risk, understand the life there? What was that? What was the thought there? Take us through that, including your mind space as a woman.
For me, I think the 2 points were very disconnected. Leaving my comfort zone and starting an entrepreneurial journey, they had no connection.
Okay, this is interesting. Tell us.
So it was not that I left EY to start FLV. No, that was not. So when I was in EY, I think I'd reached a stage where, as you said, right, everything was going in the way it just goes. And there was not much challenge in what I was doing. Of course, the path to partnership was in front of me, but I somewhere knew that I don't think I'm cut out to be a partner in EY. And that's not something I was seeing myself do in the long run. The continuous billing that we had to generate and clients and Haji, no, I don't think that I was cut out for that. So when I delivered my son, I think there was a point where I said, okay, maybe this is an excuse. And I said, let me test it out. So what initially I did was I said, I'll do a part-time. And 6 months before, or rather when I knew that I'm going to give birth to a child, I took the last 6 months on a part-time basis and did only 4 hours of work every day. And at EY, I got that flexibility. Luckily, my partner whom I was reporting to obliged and said, yeah, try it out, why not? And then I came back after I delivered, after the maternity leave, 2 months or so, I came back, and we also had the flexibility to get our children, because we had a creche in the office. So all facilities were there and we could come to office, get our children there, feed, see them once in an hour, do your job, take them back home when you're going. All of that was set. So I can't complain that at EY, because I became a mother, I didn't have the right ammunition to continue working, which I see a lot of people take as an excuse that you don't get the flexibility, people don't understand that you're also taking care of an infant. Luckily for me, again, coming back to biases that they have, I haven't faced it. My team was extremely supportive, my partner was extremely supportive, so there was no reason to actually say that because of motherhood I left EY. Why I left EY, or I took the decision, and it was a hard one after 10 years to kind of give up, as you said, a comfort zone, right? And that was mainly because for me, I felt that I reached a point where mentally I was saturated in what I was doing. There was no extra stimulation. And if I'm away from my son and going to a place called work, that should have enough stimulation for me to be as energized and as challenged and as, moving ahead in that sense. So that's where I said probably it's just too comfortable to be in a place like this forever and challenge yourself. But I didn't know what I was challenging myself for actually when I quit. So I said, let me just quit.
Right.
And the idea was initially just to do nothing, take a sabbatical for a while, and then figure out later. Deep down, I think I always had this thing that I want to move to the investment side. I think I'd done a lot of advisory side. And the fact that in advisory, you advise, you get out, and then you really don't know what happens after, how the companies perform, where do they go from there. It just felt so superficial at times, right?
You're making me feel very good. Thankfully, I am a little more involved.
But legal counsels keep coming back, right?
I'm a little more involved.
In the journey of a company. I mean, for us as bankers, beyond a point, it's not there really. So I think somewhere I knew that I would want to move on to the investment side, but without MBA in my kitty, without having past experience, without the big names that, I mean, EY obviously is not a name for moving to the private equity or the VC world. And there was a lot of bias there. Not because I was a woman, but because I was not from the fraternity, as they would say. So that I faced when I went for a few interviews, trying to move to the VCP side. I did get that. Maybe I did not push enough as well from my side. I just took it a little easy. But along the way, I think 3-4 months into the sabbatical, my ex-colleague also moved out of EY, and he wanted to actually start the services firm which we actually began. And he reached out, and then we kind of brainstormed, and we said that we had the expertise, we had the understanding of doing deals, and why not try it in the pre-series A angel round and see where we can at least help some founders along the way in getting some basics in place. And that's how we actually began. And we didn't begin the entrepreneurial journey thinking we'll make this into a 500-seater services firm, nothing like that. It was more to just kind of see where it goes at that point in time. Once we launched into it is when we realized, okay, this is a whole new game, right? This comes with its own challenges, its own risks. We suddenly realized that, okay, every month we need some money coming in. This can't happen that we wait for the deals to close and only then we're going to get money. We're not Big Four and we can't cushion it. So then we started doing retainers. So we evolved as we went along. We started with something and then quickly realized that both of us need to take some money back home every month. And that's when we started with retainers. We used our relationships. And in 3 years, we added a couple of people to the team. Somehow it kind of went from there. So 3 years we spent just building it. And then came a point, I think, where again, it was a pivot or a decision point for both of us. One incident which kind of shook both of us was a transaction where we supported the company for like almost a year in raising funds. It was a tough one. And one of the big giants actually decided to invest and we got them on the table. We actually closed the round and then they decided to not pay us fees because we were some small-time bankers. That was like, I mean, what the hell, right? You spent a year and then you get this and then the promoter also was like, I can't do much. The investors are saying this. And then you realize like, what was this worth for, right? I mean, I think that was probably a shake point for both of us. And we decided, or we came back to the drawing table and said, listen, do we really want to be at the mercy of people like this who don't want to oblige or at least, I mean, pay us the due, right? So then we just said, let's not take any more deals for now. We closed whatever we're working on. And as I said, the key of moving on to the investing side was there in me. That continued. I was looking out to see where, we were actually working with some VCs to help them on the sourcing of deals as well. So kind of understood that side a little bit and all of that. And my partner was looking at doing additional higher education or additional studies at that point. So it somehow kind of culminated. And after 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, we said, let's take a stop. Let's halt it here. We found jobs for people whom we had employed to go into respective right places. And then we went our ways. And luckily, and that's where luck played for me. And at that time, Abler Nordic sought out and wanted to start the India team. And it somehow kind of, out of nowhere, I got a call. Out of nowhere, I got a call from a random headhunter. Some Norwegian fund somewhere. What is microfinance? I mean, I had no clue. And I just went for this interview randomly to see, okay, what is this? And
And cut to today, you head the India team.
Yeah, and it's been a fantastic journey.
So we're going to talk about that journey, but